Okay, so again, we will start with predictions from last game. You said Stars win 4-1 or lose 5-2. I said that the Stars would win 4-2, right on the money. How'd you feel about? Did you have any kind of change in your prediction whenever the? Well, I mean, you didn't watch any of the game, right?
No, I didn't get to watch any of it, just highlights.
Okay. So, um, when I was at the game last night, and again, it was another one of those roller coaster games that it started off pretty well. Stars had a lot of jump. They had a lot of fight, but then the Stars really just let the Oilers hang around. Like, they weren't cashing in on. Oh my God, bad pass. They weren't cashing in on a lot of opportunities. Like, it took Spezza to even get his goal in the first period at the almost the 18-minute mark. Like, it just seemed like the Stars came out blazing and were shooting, but Nielsen again came in and played a hell of a game. And I think he should have got the second star of the game, not Seguin, because, I mean, even though Seguin did have 10 shots on goal, he had a couple of breakaways and stuff like that, but Nielsen just played out of his mind. Oh wow.
For Edmonton?
What is my guy getting up? Huh?
For Edmonton?
Yeah.
The goalie?
Uh-huh. Yeah, the goalie came in. It was Anders Nielsen. He came in instead of Talbot, which I thought was a little weird. I didn't think. I figured Talbot was going to get the start because it was only the second game, but again, I think the Oilers were kind of in a we need to get this ship right type thing, because it seemed like it was sinking pretty fast in those first two games. Granted, I didn't watch the Oilers' first two games, but they both lost those games. So it's kind of like they both had a goalie change with Kari coming in, which Kari played a good game. I don't fault him for those two goals. They were both deflections, especially the Fiddler goal, or not the Fiddler goal, who scored that? Clefbaum. He shot it from the point, and it hit Fiddler, in a way. It hit him in his wrist, and instead of it just like stopping, there was a little gap between his wrist and Fiddler's hip that it left just enough room to where it could deflect off Fiddler and go and change directions and go past Kari, which I'm not faulting Kari on. That second goal, I guess he could have been in a better position, but it didn't. Two deflections, you can't really stop those. The hockey gods just weren't in the favor of the Stars on those shots. What I was really surprised with back in the first period was that no call on Connor McDavid for his hit on Oduya. Yes. Like, it was so blatant that it was a hit from behind that, it seems like he's already getting superstar treatment, but he was only playing in his third game. I know the hype around Connor McDavid is supposed to be like super hype and everything like that.
Yeah, I'm on the Eichel train right now.
Oh yeah,
it's all about
Jack Eichel.
Yeah, it's all about Jack. I feel like he'll be a better NHL player.
Well, Jack Eichel does seem to be bigger, and Jack Eichel seems like he's built better for the NHL than Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid reminds me a lot of old or young Mike Modano. Like, he's got a lot of speed, a lot of upside, but young Mike Modano was not physical. He didn't really hit. And that's pretty much what Connor McDavid was. And then Connor McDavid comes out and throws that fucking disgusting hit on Oduya that it had the whole arena just disgusted with the refs.
Oh, yeah. I heard.
But, I mean, that doesn't even, like, overshadow the McDavid goal, which, I mean, I fell into the McDavid hype early into the season, just like everybody else. So much so that I even drafted him on my fantasy team. I guess the deflection could have been named for anybody. I watched that replay a couple of times, and I guess it touches his stick, but you don't really see a lot of movement on his stick blade that indicates that he really got a lot of it on there. So for McDavid to get his first goal against the Dallas Stars is bittersweet, but if anybody's ever in a hockey trivia night and they'll ask who Connor McDavid's first goal against was, it'll be the Dallas Stars. So I guess that's something. And going on like an overall thought of how the game went, the Stars had 50 plus shots. It was like 52 to 28 shots. I mean, it's a high shooting game. Kari had to pull his weight out there. I mean, 28 shots is a lot of shots in the NHL. He didn't have to sit back, and he wasn't giving up 2 goals on like 15 shots, like some nights that we've seen from Kari. Kari had a heavy workload, and he earned his win. But something that I highlighted in the discussion of game in our second discussion was the Stars got out hit again. It seems, I mean, it's 20 to 16 in the hits, but I mean, those 4 hits could be momentum changes, and it did seem like the Oilers were pesking. We're really in the grill of the Stars. It just seemed like they were all over the place, and it shows because the Stars had 24 giveaways. Something you can't do against any team in the NHL. No matter what team it is, 24 giveaways and being out hit is something that just is inexcusable. And it's something that needs to be worked on. Let's see. And the Oilers also had more takeaways too at 14-8. So, I mean, it had visions of what that Colorado game was. It had a fast upstart. It had a very lull in the second period, but then they didn't fade in the third period, which was fantastic. I liked seeing that they stood up for a challenge and they got ugly goals. Something they didn't get a lot of last year, especially with Jason Spezza's first goal. That off angle or shot from pretty much not behind the red line. It was nowhere behind the red line, but it was pretty close to the red line, and it was a difficult angle shot that he got enough on to where the goalie just didn't play it well off of his stick and just went in. And pleasant surprise, and you know what? It seemed like last season Jason Spezza got a bunch of those, like 3 or 4 of those goals that he just shot in off angles, far angles, just close to the red line type goals. He seemed to be getting a lot of those type of goals last season, which was nice. And it's a good way to get off the schneid whenever they haven't scored.
Oh, yeah.
And let's give it up to Janmark. Instead of being a goal a game guy, he's now got a streak of just points per game. He now has points in all 3 games, which is nice. You don't, other than Klingberg coming in, like it's nice to see Stars rookies finally consistently coming in and contributing on a regular night. It's what the Stars have needed in the longest time. Bad pass. And then it was a night to where you could tell the Stars' top line was frustrated, especially with how Ben celebrated his goal at when did Ben score his goal? Yeah, he scored 2 minutes into the second period, and towards the end of that first period, the first line was getting a lot of chances, but they weren't putting it in. Like, they'd get their chances, but Seguin or Sharp. Well, actually, you know what? Seguin is snake bit. He's officially snake bit now. Sharp is actually having chances. Like, Sharp has had, I think Sharp hit, like, a post in game 1. Did he hit a post in game 2?
I don't know.
Fuck. Bad
I
pass.
don't remember. I want to say he did.
I'm trying to remember. I think he did. And Sharp had a disallowed goal in game 1. And he hits a post and does an early celebration, which is something you never see. You want to see a superstar do, like Sharp. A talented scorer like that, he should not throw his hands up before the puck goes in. It's whatever. He thought it went in, but it didn't. It clearly hit the post. But yeah, to have the past couple of games, he's had good games. And then again, he had a goal, a waved off goal again that they had to go and challenge in Toronto over. So, it's whatever. Sharp, I feel, is going to get his chances, and it seems like he could score like 30 goals for Dallas, just the way he's been playing in the first 3 games. Seguin, on the other hand, he's had Sharp and Seguin combined for 17 shots this game. 17 shots, 10 of them coming from Tyler Seguin. I think the numbers were like Tyler Seguin has had like 31 shots in his first 3 games and hasn't put the puck in. I'm not really concerned because it's Tyler Seguin, but I mean he's getting those shots, but he just seems like he's snake bit, and especially on that breakaway that he had, he seemed like he had the deke in just a little bit late. So, I mean, Ben is getting it done, which, I mean, no one is surprised with that because he's the reigning Art Ross Trophy champion. So, we just gotta put a watch on, that's not where I wanted to pass it. We just gotta put a watch on Seguin, and hopefully he gets off the schneid.
Oh my goodness.
So, again, I'd say another player that I've just been super impressed with this season, Ales Hemsky. He has, these first 3 games, he has come out and he has played, and he is a point per game player now too. And I think he's a plus He's a +2. He's getting power play time. Ooh.
Of course,
And
Nuke's
they're trusting
again.
him a lot more. They're trusting Hemsky with a lot more, with a bigger role. I mean, he only had, let me check. I think he had like 15. He had 15 minutes, but 2 of those minutes were on power play. Like, he's getting the chances. Speaking of the power play, going 0 for 5 or 0 for 4 doesn't really bode well for your power play, especially whenever it's the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, no offense, Oiler fans, if you're watching this, but 4 power plays, you gotta put the puck in on those chances. Ooh. But yeah, I have been continued to be impressed with Hemsky. He seems like he's having. This is the Hemsky that Dallas got, that wanted to get in the first season.
Yeah, like I feel like
him.
it's kind of like a reverse role, where we were thinking Spezza and Hemsky were going to be like the next big thing for Dallas, or the next big like duo, and then they didn't really produce much until like later in the season.
Right. Yeah, Hemsky didn't.
And then
Hemsky went
Seguin.
21 games with just 2 points.
How's that?
It's been in Seguin doing the being the top demo.
Yeah. I mean, Ben's doing fine, but Seguin just needs to pick up his touch again.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It just seems like it just seems like he was so disappointed with how last year went that you could tell that he has something to prove this season.
Who's that?
Hemsky. Hemsky has something to prove this season.
I can see that.
Because, I mean, with how disappointed everyone was with
Really?
how he was, everybody was disappointed with like the first half of the season that Hemsky had, because I think he only had like 2 points in like 21 games, and he just wasn't shooting. He's shooting a lot more. Which, I mean, is a great sign.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I hope to see
let's go
some
to
Mackenzie. I hope to see some Curse Mackenzie in the next game.
Oh yeah, like hopefully he'll come in and get it. Yeah, Eves got hurt within like 3 minutes of the game. That was pretty shitty to see. It's hopefully Mackenzie up. I mean, do you think Mackenzie gets in, or do you think Nuke comes back into the lineup?
I hope Mackenzie goes in. I mean, like,
I think
Damn it, Ben.
What were you saying? Don't stop talking. You had a point.
I know. The game got interesting.
Well, yeah. Like I hope it's Mackenzie too that comes in, because I have a feeling like Mackenzie probably feels like he should have been on.
He's already got 3 assists in his one AHL game.
Yeah.
And I mean, Yeah, it's the AHL. It's not quite the NHL level, but, I mean, put up 3 assists in your first game back, and you're the best player out there. I think you should at least get to start the next game over somebody who's just been dilly-daddling in his last 2 games. Really? Pick up the puck.
Let me see what I was saying. Okay. Yeah, I think I have a feeling that Curtis Mackenzie will probably. I think it'll be Curtis Mackenzie. It will. He'll come in and he'll show that he probably should have been on the opening night roster, which I'm sure he was, pretty hurt over. But I mean, Janmark has come in and he, Janmark came in and Janmark has set a tone to where, he's not going to get scratched unless, he gets hurt or just has a god-awful couple of games next. So, other than that, I can't really see Janmark going in. And Nuke, I wouldn't be surprised if Nichushkin was coming back in. I just, I don't know. I
honestly feel that they should just send him down to the AHL for a couple of games.
Yeah, but you can't do that with Nichushkin. I think that would just deflate his. That would just deflate him too much to where I don't think he could recover from that.
How could they trade him?
I know. Sometimes you can't trade Nichushkin this early into his career.
Sure, you can.
You could, but they're not going to. That's just a terrible idea. But, I think it'll be Mackenzie that'll come in and he'll provide a spark for that fourth line. And I'll be interested to see how they do the lines with Eves out. I guess you would go back to
they should put Fiddler, Seeger, and Mackenzie out there. Or maybe Roussel, Fiddler.
Well, who's Mullen gonna? Where's Mullen gonna play?
Can I please stop icing the puck?
I don't know. Can you?
This game pisses me off sometimes.
So you didn't answer my question.
What was the question?
Where's Mullen gonna play?
He can really play anywhere he wants to.
Okay, all
Just
right.
give him free reign. Put him on the first line.
Yeah, whatever. Sure.
Oh my God!
Dude, do you not know how to play this game?
Apparently not. I tell him to pass one way and he goes the opposite way.
Okay. So, were you surprised that Nemeth wasn't in the lineup?
No. I could probably see that they weren't going to take him out.
Take who out?
Either one of those two. Oh.
You have to be a little more specific for the listeners.
The only two that they would take out, Ben and Yokipaka. I'm pretty sure if anybody's watching this broadcast, they would know that those two are the worst defensemen we have in the lineup.
Oh, what if we have non-Stars fans coming in?
I honestly don't know why they'd be watching this then.
I mean, I watch Steve Dangle's videos on the Toronto Maple Leafs.
That's just weird. Just like that, that's just weird.
There we go. Yeah, so I mean, I was actually a little surprised that Nemeth wasn't in the game. It seemed like evident that maybe he needed a start. I thought that Nemeth coming in could have given the defense a little bit more of a boost that the defense probably could have used. I still feel like Yokipaka is weaker, but again, I maybe Nemeth just didn't have that strong of a preseason and camp, and I just didn't really notice.
Well, if you would have read the notes from the thing, said that Nemeth was the worst defenseman at the camp and preseason.
Yeah, maybe he's just shaking off.
They said that Oleksiak was one of the better ones, so they'd probably bring him up before they bring Nemeth up.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I just from all the serving sample that I've seen of Oleksiak, I still don't buy in to Oleksiak. It just seems like he I don't know. I still feel like he's not ready for the NHL. I mean, yeah, he's big. Yeah, he has size, but he's for the size that he is, you would want a Darian Hatcher-esque defenseman, someone that comes in and throws the body and makes people scared to stand in front of your net. But we're just not getting that.
It's not where
it's frustrating. So, what else? What's one last thing that I wanted to touch on before I go? And shoots. He saves it. One thing that I want to see the Stars work on is I want to see the Stars work on playing a full 60 minutes. I don't like the thought of them coming out, having steam, going to the locker room, and seeing that they just have no energy in the second period. It's frustrating that they'll be up by a goal or two, but then they'll make one mistake here or there, and then it just completely deflates the team for a period, and it lets the teams back into the game. I don't know. It's frustrating.
I feel you. I want them to be more physical.
Yeah, I want them to be a little more physical than they are. I mean, I guess they were to not out hit the Oilers with how small they are is a little sad, to be honest with you. Yeah. Granted, this is not how the game actually turned out, but you're still terrible at the game, and I am now 5-0 against you. Or no, 3-0. I guess I did play some other online games. So, next game, the Dallas Stars play the Tampa Bay Lightning. What predictions do you have for that game? Or actually, do you still want to give a grade for how the Stars played against the Oilers? Or do you feel like since you only got to watch highlights, you shouldn't give out a grade? Oh, right. He is not in the game right now. Lee, that's good. Okay, well, what I'm going to give this team for a rating for the game against the Edmonton Oilers, B-, I guess. They outshot them, which was great. They were out hit. They had too many giveaways. So B-, C+. I mean, they won the game. Jason Spezza got a hat trick. Kari Lehtinen comes in, get his first win of the season in his first game. It was good. It was a decent game. B+. I'm gonna say for my predictions of next game against the Tampa Bay Lightning, I'm going to give that's a tough one. Tampa Bay Lightning, I'm going to say it's 3-2 if the Stars win. And I'm going to say it's 5-2 if the Lightning win, because the Lightning seem to have had the Stars number they especially had it last season. So I think I will say 3-2 Dallas squeaks by with the win, practically stealing it. And then I'm going to say that if the Stars lose, they'll lose big, 5-2, with Kari Lehtinen in net. So yeah, stop it there. This has been Game 3 discussion.